What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Devin Kidd, aka D Kid, and this is All on the Line. We got a special guest star here. His name is Jake Sorbera. He's my best friend, and we're going to be talking about tonight what's going on with sports betting, how we made money sports betting. And sorry, guys, if you guys see my eyes moving to the left, it's because I'm looking at the games that are on tonight. But yeah, let's dive right into it. First question, Jake. How did you start sports betting? What got you into sports betting? What's kind of your story here?
Yeah, bro. Thank you for having me. I started betting. I turned 21 last July, so I started betting baseball games. I'm a big baseball fan, big Yankee fan, so just the idea of betting baseball was interesting to me. So I figured if I knew my stuff and I could research stats, do things like that, that maybe I might be able to turn a little bit of a profit. Some college kids need money.
All right. So my friend Jake here, he attends Stockton University. He is going for his business degree. I believe he is graduating this year, right?
Yep, graduating May.
Yeah, congratulations to him. But yeah, so that is his story. But for my story, it's kind of not that long. I started when I turned 21, which is about a year ago. I had a big downfall where I was in the hole 4,500 on my account.
Me too.
I would say we kind of switched it up about last month or a month and a half ago. We just stopped doing parlays. Parlays
That was the thing, bro. Parlays. It was destroying us.
Yeah, parlays, they just killed the whole thing for us. So we just started doing straight bets, and it wasn't even like we would do. Well, we started off doing 10 straight bets a day, doing a certain amount of money on them. But then it just it wasn't happening that way. So instead we started cranking it down a little bit less, and whatever we felt more that was going to hit, we just put the money on it there. So that's kind of how I started and how we both started going at it together. I've known Jake for a little while now. We kind of been sports betting together for, I'd say,
we've been talking sports for a decade now.
Yeah. We've been talking sports a while, but sports betting, we've been going back since I've turned 21, and yeah, we've just been killing it since. I did say I was in the hole minus 4,500. I don't want you guys to think that we are still in the hole.
That's normal though, because you have to be in the hole at first. You got to learn. Everyone learns the lesson. You got to.
That's the whole thing, though. Yeah, you're not wrong. We learned a lot, but see, minus 4,500, being 21 was just a lot of money for me. So
you gotta be committed to it.
Yeah, you do. It's definitely true. But I just want you guys to know, me and Jake are both not in the hole on our accounts. We are actually up on the accounts, and we will dive right into that more. But yeah. All right, so let's kind of talk about some of the bets that did get us out of the hole. Jake, if you want to start it off with your best bets, I'll put them on the screen for you guys on your left. But
yeah, for me, I would say some of my best bets of at least recently that I just dug up were the Royce O'Neal, the first method score. I was going to the game, so I was going to Brooklyn to see them play, and I just was looking to have some fun, throw some darts, just being at the game. And I looked back, I went through their past 5 games, and he scored a 3-pointer as the first basket, 3 out of the 5 games. So I was just take a chance. I had a free bet. Threw it, plus 2,000.
I do have a question, though, that I never did get to ask you. How was it was at Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, it was in Brooklyn.
How was the arena?
Oh, the arena was sweet. It's right in the middle of the city, so it's it just looks like a big arena right in the middle of a...
Yeah, because
a city.
You've been to a Sixers game, right?
Yeah.
The Sixers arena is not the best, but it's decent. So
at least it has its own location. It's in its own, there's no parking lot for this arena. You got to park at a garage and then walk. You know what I mean?
True.
So, that was, I would say, definitely the most exciting bet that I've hit recently. Imagine seeing that live. But, the All-Star game was also good. I had the any player to score 50 at plus 1,700 was, All-Star game for me was an opportunity to make money. You're going to get a show from a lot of those players. Mitchell and Tatum both were, Jaylen Brown, all of them. So, I knew someone was going to score 50. I just threw a dart at that too.
We did miss out on some other good talent, though. Steph Curry, if he was playing, that would have been awesome. Durant, Giannis, if he didn't just
come
go
in, score a
score in the
basket.
first 10 seconds and then go out. That's
Yep.
terrible. I didn't want to see that, but
Yeah.
that's awful.
You got
But
some good ones too, though.
yeah, we'll talk about my good ones. Mine kind of are just like I go crazy on my bets sometimes when I have like these good feelings. I just put crazy money on them. And the first one obviously is the Spencer Dinwiddie one, but that one 900 or close to 1,000. We'll just say 1,000, and one close to 2 Gs. But I didn't expect Luka to get hurt that game, so that kind of caused Spencer Dinwiddie to turn it up a notch, and he was playing the point guard the whole game.
I had that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he played close to 35 minutes.
He was throwing it up from near half court.
Yeah, I
He
think
was-
as
got
you
hot.
guys see, he had 38 points, but
Yeah.
that was just incredible. The Kawhi Leonard one, as you guys see, I kind of have 2 picks of the same. Now, I'll put in a bet, and then if I have like a really good feeling, I'll throw more at it just because I don't know why I don't do it before, but that's just how I am, and I'm weird like that. But I just thought the Kawhi line was too low for 21. That's kind of weird, especially for minus 132. But Jalen Williams over 20.5. I kind of forget that game, but it was the Thunder. Thunder are my favorite team. Jalen Williams, he is a forward on that team. And if Shai Gilgeous is out or just not having a great game, Jalen Williams is the second man to get the ball and put up points and rebounds. So that's kind of why I guess I took that there. But yeah, those are my best bets. We do have more though. Jake, if you want to talk about your next one,
Yeah.
so
The
we'll touch on that some more.
I mean, I just threw I kind of do like an assortment. Like I got some like first quarter bets. I enjoy those. You know, I love the first quarters.
Yeah.
It's just electric. Like 12 minutes and that's it. So there's not too much sweating to do. And I mean, I would say a bet. Like you always have like a bet that you want to be able to remember. Like LeBron breaking the scoring record was probably the one I'll never forget because it's like I had his points going over. I live betted, big bet on it, and I just like the way that game was going. You could just tell that he was there to break it. I actually saw, if you remember, he told his kids at halftime, he's like, I think it was like 6 in each quarter or something, or whatever the number was. And he's like, I'm going to go get it. And I was like, live bet. I'm all over that.
See, here's the sad part. I missed that game if you do not remember. I was in the middle of building all
Yes, you were building this. That's right.
I took a long break. I probably took close to a month break building all of this, so you guys were able to see all this in action. But it took me a long while, and there's still plenty more to be done. But I sadly missed that, and
You missed a good one, bro.
I missed a lot of money there. Yeah, it's all right though. What are we gonna do?
Yes, sir.
But for mine, my other ones, my best ones, I would kind of have to say Jokic. You guys know I love betting on Jokic.
Roller coaster.
He is a roller coaster. He is. But earlier in the year, he was putting up crazy numbers with points, so I kind of took this here as like an easy bet. Now I only did put $600, and only. See, here's my thing. Like 600 to me was kind of light back then because in that period of time I was betting around like 1,500 a day, $2,000 somewhere around there. So like 600.
I don't got the stomach for it, bro. You got a different kind of stomach. Some of the bets you be throwing in, I can't. I would never be able to. I wouldn't be able to sit there.
I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And the $100 one, all the way at the bottom, that once again, I like to sometimes just
Keep
bet
it small.
again. Not even keep it small. I bet it again. Like I said before, when I have a weird feeling, I'll just double it down.
I get like that
triple
too.
it down. Like I just don't care.
That's the emotion, bro. The emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. So if you guys see, we really did put 700, whatever. But that's gonna be that. For the emotional roller coasters,
That's good,
I'd say
yeah.
it's like the most scariest because sports betting in general is like.
You can't be emotional. If you get emotional, that's how you lose. Like I put that LeBron bet. I only had $100 on it to start at like 32.5. But then when I saw how the game was going at halftime, like what if he didn't get it? Like that's a big loss. So
especially if it's just like my big thing is like you said, you don't have the stomach for it. It's not. It's just not even like the stomach. It's just like that's all gambling. Like we've been
Oh,
to the
yeah.
casino plenty of times, and we've been down to our last crippling dollars, and we turned it
25
to like,
on a roulette number.
we turned it into $1 million. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. Sports betting is just the same way. It's you could be losing the whole time, and then one way in the end you'll just win, or you'll be thinking you're winning, and then right in the end you'll get screwed. It's just how it goes. Now some people I just feel like they don't have the stomach for it. Not
Well,
even the
it's
stomach.
polar opposites.
It's just like they just can't handle it, so they give up on it.
Like
That's
you-
kind of why people go down losing money in sports
yeah.
betting, I feel.
You could lose, like let's say you put 5 bets in. One day you're 5-0, and then the next day you could go 0-5, and it feels like the best day and the worst day of your life. Like that's
That's what I mean.
It is.
Like,
It's emotional.
You
Like,
go on a whole week win streak, and then somehow or another next week you're losing $2,000.
It's stressful. If you can't handle
It's
stress,
awful.
if you
If
stress,
you can't handle stress, then you're not
You're not in the right
zone
field.
with with sports betting. I don't think you should be doing it, but
it's a ton of fun though. Like you're with going casino with you, or like get sports betting talk. Like I love doing that. Like
it's the best thing ever in the
with
world.
your friends. There's nothing like winning with your friends.
That's what I mean. That's kind of
Yeah.
why, like, this podcast is like why I started this podcast, so then I could show you guys how to win. Now, obviously, me and you, we don't like to give out our picks like that
Yeah.
easily, so we kind of make it tricky. But we do give up our picks.
But there's reasons for that. Like
there is reason.
people don't understand. Like you could just pull up FanDuel, DraftKings, Prize Picks, whatever, and look at something you think's good. But what you think is good might not be good. Like you could bet Klay Thompson over and he finishes with 2 points. So it's like a lot of time, a lot of like research goes into like
That's
the
what
things.
I mean. Like people don't understand how much time and research. Like we scour the websites, each sports book, every single stat website, just looking for picks, hours on hours, and like it's time and dedication, and like not many people have that. So it's just like I just feel like people just can't do it. So we're different in that aspect. We have the not the IQ, but like.
Just the will to like we love sports
And the determination, like we're just undenied winnings. Like we want to win all the time. I don't know if that makes sense, but we love to win, and that's all we want to do. Like we hate losing money. That's why when I was in my hole, I did not give up. We kind of kept pushing forward, and we switched up strategies. I know you switched up strategies also. It just clicked. Like once again, back to the parlay thing. Like parlays, once we switched, it just didn't happen. And that comes with the emotional roller coaster. Parlays was the biggest stress. Like,
well, they give you those good odds for a reason. Like
you think you're getting the good odds, but then you will hit 3 out of the 4 you place, and then you're like, oh wow, I really lost by 1. Are you joking?
And if you bet them all straight, you're 3-1.
Yeah,
you're up. So
I guess that's kind of why that is actually why we just stopped doing it in general. We just stuck to straight betting. Like,
well, one of the things that took me from parlays was people like in my life, like friends, like parents, things like that. Like gambling has a very negative stigma. Like it's like you know what I mean?
It's known for losing.
Exactly. People say you can never win. You can never really profit from gambling. You never win in the end. So I thought if you could do that responsibly, maybe you could, because I love it. So win or lose, I'm going to keep doing it.
Well, that's my thing. You see people out here like Phil Ivey and
big time.
all these other big sports bettors, not even bettors, but like gamblers, just in general. Like if you guys don't know who Phil Ivey is, he's a world-renowned gambler, poker player. He's just the great. He's actually my favorite gambler in the world.
He's probably the best poker player ever. Little off topic, but
we'll go off topic here for a quick sec. But Phil, he's honestly, I don't even know if I like him for the poker. It's more for the gambling in general, like his baccarat skills. And,
well, they don't know that either. Like we love poker. Like we love cards. We
we
play cards. Like that's
so true.
Yeah,
we can't not play cards at least. I'd say
a couple times a
once
month.
week. Yeah, once
like
a week,
we're
something like that.
Yeah.
But back to the emotional roller coasters. The parlays, they just
it's too much.
that's why I don't recommend them to you guys. And I know Jake wouldn't recommend. Now they're good here and there, but you just can't take them all the time. They're unreliable. Now straight bets, you got kind of like a 50-50 shot there. If you're able to make the right decision, and obviously you'll come out on the win. Now, like Jake said, I put big money on mine. Some days I'll throw, let's say, $1,500 I'm only gonna win maybe $200. Like that's when my emotional roller coaster comes in. How
Yeah.
am I putting out $1,500 and only getting $200 in profit? Like that doesn't make sense to me. But
I don't know if it
it's all
happens to
right.
you, but like sometimes after like a night of betting, like if I bet, say like, I don't know, like close to 1,000, like 500, 800, whatever it may be. Like if I only come out making like 300, it almost feels like, what was all that stress for? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's better than losing, obviously, but
yeah,
like some
for
nights
sure.
I'd be lying if I like said that it definitely makes me think like, is it worth it? You know, like worth the stress, worth the emotion.
That kind of ties into like one of my other questions that I do want to ask you. Like, would you ever give up sports betting?
I mean, I don't know. Short answer is no, but like if it did get like bad, like if I was start to see myself like gambling irresponsibly or like doing things that would affect my life, then yeah, I would give it up. But I'll always watch sports. Like as long as I'm financially capable of like betting on the side at least a little bit, like even if it's less than what I do now, like
Well,
I'd always want to stay
well, that's what
involved.
I mean. Like, when's the last time we went to the casino?
A while, like, but it comes in phases. Like like sometimes we'll go twice a week, but like other
True,
times we won't go for 2 months. So
true,
it's just all what you feel like doing at the time.
true.
Casinos usually when sports are dry.
I just don't think we'll ever be able to give up sports betting just because, like, we will always have that love and passion for
Yeah.
sports. So it's just like, even if we grow old and have kids and we're married,
Sports don't get old.
exactly, we're still gonna be sitting
Right.
on that couch watching TV and
For
sports.
sure.
So it's just not gonna happen over here for us. And I could see us doing this for a long time. I hope we're doing it for a long time and making a big profit on it. But
Yeah.
that's the whole goal around here. But for our next topic, let's talk about our worst bets. So, what was kind of your worst bet that you've ever placed? Like, what was your worst mistake that you've done?
Oh, man, worst bet I would say just off the top of my head probably I bet the Bucks. I put like 600 on the Bucks in the first quarter. I just thought like when it was done and over with that it just felt like a stupid amount of money to lose on like a 12-minute quarter. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
kind of felt like bad after the fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine was just the LeBron. He was trying to achieve. I thought he was going to achieve his scoring record in this game. I don't remember who it was against, but
Milwaukee. That's who it was. TNT, Milwaukee.
probably
So the Bucks got
he's
both of
usually
us.
right about
That's
this. But LeBron just did not get it done for me. I did put $1,000 on it. It was one of my big bets of the day, and I did lose it, and I was not happy. Um, Now, obviously, I did not go home and cry and like, yeah, but no, it was just a bad night for me. I went to bed fine.
yeah.
Honestly, recently, I haven't had a night where it's like, oh, I can't sleep or anything like I
Nah.
never had a bad
Some
night like
casino
that.
nights.
Oh, definitely.
Some casino nights.
Because the casino, I feel like is the worst roller coaster. It's worse than sports betting.
You
Sometimes.
feel like a degenerate sometimes.
Yeah,
At least
for
me.
sure.
Like I'll be coming up to the room or whatever, like late. You know?
Yeah, 7 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
going on a
I'm-
blackjack or on the air. But
Pretty
even
much.
if it's just like, I don't know. It's like they suck you in. Like if you watch Percy Jackson and you remember he goes into that casino and he gets stuck there because of
Yeah.
whatever the flowers or.
That-
It's just like the same thing. It's real life. Like they do the same thing. There's no windows.
You gotta know when to
There's
walk
no
away.
Clock. Like you're not allowed on your phone. So it's like, how are you able to get your mind right and set? Like it's weird for me.
Well, that's the thing is they don't want your mind right.
Yeah.
They're giving you free alcohol when you all
Yeah,
that stuff.
that's
you're
true.
you're no windows. They're pumping oxygen in there. Like they want you in there.
Yeah.
So
That's the truth. Just your whole room aspect. Can you kind of give us like an explanation of
yeah.
it?
So I mean, when I was like making my room, like I didn't really center it around like sports betting. I centered it around like I wanted a place where I could do everything. Like obviously, like as you mentioned, I'm in college, so like I wanted a place I could sit and like do my homework or like I needed a computer set up to type and all this other stuff, papers. But like it's kind of simple. Like I got like obviously I have a desk in there with like my 2 monitors, which I have like a computer side. I got like my Xbox hooked up there and stuff, but like I have my TV on the wall, which is where I obviously watch the games. And if I need like 2 games up, if I have like multiple picks or whatever, I could like space it out, one on each TV or whatnot. But like for my main sports betting, I'll either use my computer like at my desk, or I'll use like I have an iPad like you, where I kind of just like I open up tabs and just like switch through tabs like between stats and like the sports book or whatever. Like just
Well, like even on the go, like let's say I invite you over and you kind of just come to watch games.
Yeah.
You bring the iPad, and that's
yeah.
how you're able to sports bet. It's kind of like your on the go
Yeah.
mobile sports betting station, if you may
Yeah.
say. But
like I do it on my phone too, but like
yeah,
obviously the iPad, bigger screen.
the iPad is
Yeah.
way better.
It's just a
Come
different world.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to know, like, how much did it all cost? Like, how much did it all cost to build, and what went into it? Like, why the aesthetic of it. Like, when I walk into your room, when I first see your couch and
It's like a studio apartment.
yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, it gives me that vibe. And then in the corner, you got nice tucked away the desk with the 2 monitors, like you said, and then like big desktop tower. It's just awesome, especially not just like a regular tower. It's a gaming PC tower, so it's awesome. It glows and shit, does the RGB lights. I like that stuff, but like what was the cost of that? Like I want to know.
So I got the computer. The computer's a little old now. I probably bought that like maybe a senior year at high school, remember? And then I'd say it was probably like 1,500 for the PC.
Jeez.
And then the monitor was like, I just bought like 2, like in Best Buy, I just bought like 2 monitors that kind of look the same. So like I didn't really go too far into like like you did with your, like you wanted the specs on your monitor, like certain things. I kind of just like kept it simple. Like because if you remember at the time, I wasn't old enough to bet. So I was kind of just keeping it basic, but it's worked for me now. Like I've been able to,
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, my setup is just, it's different in the aspect I had to get the stuff I needed for this stuff, the podcast in general. But for my regular sports betting before all this, I just had my iPad, as you guys see here, and that's all I was using. But when I went on this crazy run last month, and like I said, like we talked about earlier, I was in the whole 4,500. I was able to get myself out of that hole within like, I want to say a month span. It was actually fun. It was very fun making all that money, but I reinvested it into myself to be able to show you guys how I'm able to do all this and make money in a way. But
you exceeded my expectation. Like when you mentioned to me that you were thinking about like buying this stuff and like kind of like starting up something, like I didn't really know like where you were going to go with it. And I saw the money you were spending and all that stuff. And obviously I knew you had like some goal, but like everyone kind of thought you were a little crazy. Like you're spending.
Definitely. Everybody thought I was crazy. Like everything changed. Like the setup itself, if I may say, it got different and different each week. Like I had a different plan each week for it. Like everything just came to mind at night or like very early in the morning. I would stay up till like 5 in the morning just researching stuff that I would want, or if I think I would need it for my setup. Mainly like these microphones and like aspect, like they're the USB mics. I kind of messed up there. That's kind of going to be one of my mistakes I did, was I should have went with an XLR mic.
See, I know nothing about what you're saying.
Well, that's my thing. Like, I spent so much time. Like, it was just crazy. And I still do. I spend so much time trying to upgrade my setup. I actually just showed him my new setup specs, but that's in the making. Like I said, maybe you guys will get that at the end of next month. I am trying for next month at the end. I keep telling everybody else a different time, but
yeah. But the one thing I would say, like, about your setup and like how it pertains to like what you're trying to do is that I think it's cool that you spent this money, and I think it kind of will keep you more involved. Like I think you're like, it kind of motivates you to want to like make like content, like whether it be like a video, like your picks video, or like a long format thing like this. Like I think it's good that like I've never really seen you like as driven. Like it was the first time in a while where I've seen you like really want to do something. So that was like cool.
The funnier part is I never thought of doing a podcast up until I knew I was able to do something that was out normal, like add normal kind of in a way. Something you're
passionate about.
I was passionate about, and something that is just generally not common in most like our area. You know what I mean? Like we really don't have anybody that sports bets at our age.
Podcasts are big, and
especially
but
the
not
way
around
we
here.
do.
like we don't have a lot
Yeah.
of people around here, kind of.
Yeah. But especially the people around here, like I'm not trying to brag or anything. I just want to say like other people's podcasts. Now, when I did build this, it obviously was a lot of money. We'll talk about that soon, but I tried to build it the best I could. Like I want it to be the best podcast out there. Like I said in my earlier videos, I strive for greatness. Like I really do. I want to put out the best content I can. I want to show you guys the best of the best. Like I really want to make you guys money. I really want you guys to be happy, and that's kind of why I made the podcast. But to go back to the setup, yeah, like I said, everybody, I just don't think they have what I have. Like, it took a lot of time for me to build this. Like, I haven't seen anybody or anybody others podcasts around us, I should say, yeah, we'll say around us, that has the stuff that I do.
Well, I would also say that like I agree with you. Like I don't think, to be honest, I don't know if anyone around here really has a podcast like that. But if they do, I couldn't imagine it being like this. Like you really built like a professional looking setup.
Yeah, it's, I wouldn't say professional, but we're close to professional.
I didn't do the research.
The next setup is definitely going to be professional.
But I mean, like
after looking at the specs, it's definitely going to be way better.
It's going to be sweet.
Like there's a lot of mistakes in this setup. Like we just dove. I felt like I dove quickly, even though it was a month long. But I feel like I dove quickly.
I mean, I think you took the right approach in sense like you said you spent a lot of money. Like you got to spend money to make money, and it's. If you want to put out a good product, you gotta pay into it.
That's also the thing. People gotta pay for the product. It's just like people were overly excited for me to put out this content, so they could see my picks and maybe or hopefully make money off of it. But there's a lot more into it. Like we'll talk about that later, but. The podcast, the setup and cost of itself, I don't really know the whole setup cost. I could give you guys, honestly, here's the funny part. If I were to pull up my Best Buy account, I could probably give you guys a round number, but there were some things that I did not buy at Best Buy. There were some things I had around the house, and then.
Well, I thought the funniest thing to me was the computer. When you bought the computer and it wasn't the right chip that you wanted, so you just returned it and bought the more expensive one, like
And what he means by my computer, guys, he's not talking about this monitor. He's talking about my Mac Mini. The Mac Mini, that's a funny story. The really detailed part about it is I bought the Mac Mini a month earlier than the new one came out. So it was the M1 chip that I bought. It was $700. I had it for at least, I shouldn't have said a month. I think it was a couple weeks. I don't know, because it was within the return period, but they came out with the M2 chip Mac Mini, and it wound up being $200 cheaper, so why would I not get the new one? And
it was cheaper.
$200 cheaper.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. I thought it was more.
No, $200 cheaper.
That's
it
good.
was 20 times faster.
Wow. That's crazy. But yeah, bro, like you got a good thing going.
It's crazy. It's a lot of money was spent, a lot of hard time. But the monitor is a 49-inch Samsung CRG9. I think I got it for like $900 or $1,000. I don't even remember.
You should do that.
But here's the funny part. This isn't even the best model. Like, obviously,
it looks like the best model.
49-inch ultra wide. I think this is the biggest you can get, other than the Odyssey Arc. I don't know if you would count that, but. This is, I think, the biggest ultra wide you can get, 49-inch. But this is the lowest spec one. They have, I think, 2 higher ones. If they don't have 2, I know they have 1, and that one's the Samsung Neo. But there wasn't really good reviews on it. Plus, I wasn't gonna put up another extra $1,000.
So like you did so much like research, crazy. Like you're like reading reviews and doing all this stuff. So it's like
think about it. The speakers alone, I got them at Best Buy also. They are 400 watts. I should have got higher, but it's all right. We got 400 watts. They were, I don't even remember, like 280, something like that. And all my computer stuff, now, if you guys know, like you said, I did get a Mac Mini. I like the Apple, like, products.
Yeah,
itself.
Apple's
That's
good.
why I didn't get a tower. Like,
no.
Why did you get a tower? Like, did you like the whole aspect of the, what is it, an Intel look? Yeah,
It's an iBuy Power. It was like the i5 one. So I'm not like a computer whiz. I don't really know too much about like PCs and all that. And it was just kind of one of the ones they had at Best Buy when I went.
Yeah.
So like the way, and if you remember back when I bought it, like there was no Mac Mini. If the only Mac computer was that big one that was built into the monitor.
The garbage can.
Yeah.
as
So
you
it
call
was it was kind of like and that was expensive.
$5,000.
Yeah. So
6,000.
I'm not gonna spend that. So I was just like looking for something simple. I wanted a computer that wasn't a laptop.
Take a guess how much that big trash can is worth, all fully upgraded.
I think you told me this. Isn't it like 17 or like 20?
$55,000.
Oh my gosh.
Take a guess if you were to buy it today, $55,000, and trade it in tomorrow, how much they would give you.
10, 20.
And you guys can go check this out for you guys selves. They'll give you $900.
What? Oh my gosh. That's why Mac's a dangerous game. Like you really gotta, I don't know.
I know. I'm more leaning towards building a PC.
That's a lot, though.
It is a lot more money. And this was $500. And I love Apple products. Like I said, I love their Apple setup. But this does the justice. And the Stream Decks, I did buy 2 Stream Decks. I love my Stream Decks, just to let you guys know. I got a Stream Deck XL and a Stream Deck Mark II, I think they're called. Yeah, Mark II. The XL was $250. The Mark II, I think, was $150. And the mics are both Yeti mics. Now, the one that Jake is using, that is a regular Yeti microphone. This is the Yeti X Professional. That one was $200 only because it came with the arm attachment. This one was $200 just for itself with this little stand. And I think...
I'm trying to think. Speaking of building a computer, someone we know built a PC. I'm trying to think who it was. John Bailey. Shout out John B.
Shout out our guy John B. Building a computer PC.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like,
it took him a while. I think like getting the parts and everything, like you got to get it all like shipped in.
Oh,
so I think it took him a little bit, and it was expensive.
It's so expensive. Yeah. Like, it could range from a couple grand to even tens of thousands. Like I've seen setups that are just crazy. Like,
yeah, but those are people like. People that have these crazy setups, they're spending so much money, like they have to already be like established.
True.
Like you got to start. You have to start somewhere. That's what I would say. Like we've had those conversations.
And I also forgot the most expensive thing that I thought was going to be the cheapest out of this whole setup and everything. And I don't know if you were looking into adding it to your setup. I don't know if you already have it, but I haven't been there in a while. These light
Nah, I
strips
can't do the lights. I can't do it. I don't have the attention span to be like sticking lights on things. I just have like a normal light. I'm an old soul.
Take a guess how much the lights probably cost me all around.
You got them on a... Don't even tell me. What is it, like a couple hundred?
It's around like $600-700.
Oh my God, bro. For lights?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if I made a mistake there because there was 2 options for me. It was these Philips Hues, or they make these Govee lights, which are a little bit cheaper, but Philips is the stronger brand for me. Mm-hmm. I know them. I know they're reliable.
Yeah.
I also have my whole setup attached to 2 Philips surge protectors, but yeah, honestly, that was the most expensive thing out of my setup was the lights, especially with the sign and the nano leaf lines. The nano leaf lines are... No, I think that's a 9-pack, and that was $200. The sign, the LED sign was, I think, $180, something like that. But yeah,
you went all out, bro.
Oh, especially if you think they can't even see the TV behind them or the lights and stuff for the whole podcast setup itself. Like a lot goes into it. So if anybody's thinking about doing a podcast, plan it out first. Get your budget ready first.
Win a couple bets. You're gonna have to win a couple bets to pay for it.
Oh, sure. Or just work a whole couple months. But
yeah, pretty much.
That's the work of life. But enough of setup talk. Let's talk about the betting sites that you like to use. What kind of betting sites do you like to use?
Betting sites. I mean, that's tough. I've kind of like switched around. Like obviously, like you have an account on like most of them, right? I think you actually have more than me.
I have. Well, let's see here. Let's really deep dive here.
Yeah.
I have Caesars.
Cause you got like MGM. I don't have those.
I have MGM. I have FanDuel. I have Barstool.
Mm-hmm.
I have. I think that's it.
I was on I'm trying to think where I started. I started on FanDuel. Then I went
Oh,
to
and DraftKings.
the one that you didn't mention. I don't think a lot of people. I went to PointsBet.
Yeah, you did talk to me about
And
this. Already.
PointsBet, the good thing I will say, I wouldn't do it anymore because we already talked about parlays. But you get a parlay booster, at least you used to. I don't know if it's still that way. Once a day, so you can make a parlay and then boost, get better odds just once a day. So like when I was into parlays, I was into that booster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like now, I would say now I'm on DraftKings. I don't know. I switched for the moment between FanDuel and DraftKings.
Now here's the thing. Now I was on DraftKings. I love DraftKings. I did like it a lot. The only thing though is the only reason why I did go to DraftKings was because of the
FanDuel locking people out.
It wasn't even locking. They had scheduled maintenance.
They locked me out though. I remember when I was betting the night that when LeBron broke the record, it said something like too many people are trying to log in your area. Try again later. Like what is that? Like
Mine was different. I had
Server
live
maintenance.
bets where I could have cashed out and they were winning during halftime, and I was planning on cashing out. I would try and log in, and all of a sudden, FanDuel's telling me they scheduled maintenance without telling me.
Yeah,
How are you gonna do that to me without letting me know prior?
that's definitely shady. And
Now, you guys let me know if that's my fault. I don't think it was, but
well, I mean, they gave out a $50 free bet, so they knew that they did something wrong. But like that doesn't make up for the money that I'm sure people lost. You know what I'm saying?
true.
Like they give out those $50 free bets every time something goes wrong, but like a lot of people don't really care about that.
Speaking of, tonight is still looking kind of rough. I don't know if our De'Aaron Fox pick hit, or
I think that
I do know our Lori marketing did not hit, so that's upsetting.
Yeah,
Now,
Fox is that's just starting.
But that's another reason why we don't do parlays, guys. Like, just stop. Like, we can't. Now, I would say probably what? I would give the number 70 to 75% that we go 2-1, or some days 1-1. Like, you're either losing a little bit of money or you're winning a little bit of money, which is still better than losing all your money with the parlays. So stick to straight bets, guys.
Another thing I would throw in that you just said you lose a little bit of money made me think, like the juice, as they call it. Like when you bet, you get like a minus 140. And if you lose that, like that's kind of for me. So like if the odds for someone's points are minus 135, you have to obviously put 135 to return 100. So if you lose that, you're not just losing 100, you're losing 135. So if you win like a minus 110, you're still down $20. So like that can add up. Like that's one of the tips that I had to learn is like the juice can be good, but it can also be bad.
Well, that also kind of dives into my next topic, which is like how do you manage your wins and losses. Mm-hmm. It's kind of just like I personally just look at my overall winnings and I see the progress. If I'm either where I was at before, I'm okay with that because I didn't make money, but I also did not lose money. We're still up. Yeah. But if I notice that we are going down, I notice that I am not doing something correctly, I will have to switch it up. And if we're up now, I know that we're fine. So
I think we had a conversation a couple weeks ago. I switched it up. So like every week I start with like 1,000 in my account, and then on Sunday night, anything above 1,000, I'll cash out. So like that'll be like my profit for the week. And like let's say I'm under 1,000, well then like I don't deposit more, like I just build. Like even if I'm down.
That's the one thing I did learn off you. I would put $1,000, win my whatever 1,800, cash it all out. The next day, redeposit $1,000. Like, what sense does that make?
Like it's kind of just like, well, I know people that do that too. Like you win a bet and then you cash it out because like you want to feel like you actually won it. So it's like, I understand that, but I also like I think where I go wrong, like I have the problem of like wanting to like double down. Like when you win, you want to keep winning and you want to win bigger.
Yeah, you get greedy.
Yeah, like I have that problem. Like even like when we would go play cards, like I don't know when to leave. I don't know when to get up.
Yeah.
Like so it's just timing really. It's emotion.
That's why I like doing let's say I pick one or two things and I'll throw my big money at it.
Yeah.
That's why I like that. I stick to that, and I already have enough money on it. And if I go more, then I'm gonna basically be
You can't chase.
I'm basically chasing, and I just it's not that I don't want to be a degenerate. It's like it would be kind of crazy to put that much more money into it.
Well, I would also, like, we talk about chasing. Like, I would love to meet someone that gambles, like, every day per se, that hasn't chased before. Like, that everyone.
Yeah, everybody chases every once in a while.
If you lose a little bit, you want to get it back. Like, everyone, it's part of the game.
For sure.
But you got to be responsible.
But it's also like money management. Like, I feel like people just don't have good money management sometimes. Like honestly, I think since I started the podcast, I've had a couple people hit me up and they send me my picks, and I would be excited. Like, yeah, you take my picks, but they parlay them.
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
so it's like how do you expect me to make you money when I know I didn't put out this video earlier, but I'm putting this video out now. My picks are strictly straight bets, like, and I am gonna fix that in my videos. I am gonna explain that more now, I guess, but it's just not good for me, especially when I go 2-1, and I know if they didn't do the parlay, they would have made money.
But that's like the double-edged sword. Like, I would say the one thing from like my perspective that I would give to like them is that like you do take it on the chin. Like, if you like say you were to what was the one day you went like 0-2 or whatever.
Yeah, 0-2, yeah.
Like you feel some type of way about that. Like, it's not just like, oh, I lost, like whatever. Like you take it on the chin. Like, it hurts for a minute. So it's like you're committed to, like, and people also have to understand, like, you're not gonna win every time.
Well, that's my thing. Also, we're never gonna win all the time, but
if you go 2-1 for a week, it adds up. Put it like that.
My YouTube video podcast, like, they are my best bets of the day. Like, they are my picks that I choose for the day, like my best bets.
Yeah.
But if you heard me, or if you listened to me earlier in the video, explain kind of, I only take one or two.
But
Like,
there's more that you like.
Yeah, I'll maybe, like I said, I take maybe 10 picks, but
yeah.
Or I'm not taking 10 picks. I'm writing up 10 picks, and I maybe take one or two. Now, that's my strategy. Like, I love it. Like, I hate getting 10 picks and then throwing all my money at them. Like, I would take the best of the best out of those 10 and then throw my money at it.
I see, like, I've done that. Like, I've tried that, but like, I also like to watch all the games. So like, what I do is I try to like get something in each game that I like care about. Like, I'll stay away from like the Rockets. I haven't really bet on a Rockets game because usually they're blowouts. It's just not. It's not a good scene to be in right now. But like bad teams where I think blowouts are coming, like, I'll stay away from that. But like these primetime games, like, I'll try to get like a pick or two in each of them.
The primetime games, it's just like, they're crucial though for betting also, because that's when the players
want to play. More. Yeah, they want to play on prime time.
Yeah, they love to play prime time.
Yep.
But it's sometimes prime time also can be just awful though.
Yeah.
Like blowouts, like you said, and then players just don't perform the way they should.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I don't have any complaints recently about the NBA. It's actually been very good to us.
I'm excited for the playoffs. I think there's a lot of good. Like, everything's close. Like, nobody's really pulling away.
No, everything actually for once this year is close. And
you have like a sleeper on someone to win the championship?
Let me think really quick, actually.
I'm trying to think too.
I have somebody that I think is going to win. I don't know if you would say it's a sleeper.
Who do you think?
Actually, I have a sleeper. The 76ers.
That's so crazy. Mine was going to be, I think they're going to lose in the finals. I think the Sixers make it to the finals and lose only because the Phillies made it. And who am I missing something? The Eagles. Eagles and the Phillies both make it and lose in the championship. So I
just think they have a strong chance. Joel Embiid's having a great year, and
James Harden's coming on.
He's putting up some good numbers right now. He's finally clicking.
I don't know.
But my top NBA Finals thing, like who I really think is going to take it, Phoenix Suns.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people, especially right now, because they've been kind of like shaky. People are saying they don't really have it together. I think the Clippers should be feared. Kawhi Leonard is a killer, and he's a closer. He'll come into a game and put you down.
Yeah, but you know who's on that team? The Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook he looks clunky out there. He's not as athletic as he used to be.
No, and the sad part is if he was, then
He was
the
so
Lakers
fun.
would have been great and the Clippers would have been great, but
Yeah.
it's not looking how it should be.
Yeah, I don't know, to win the championship. I think the Bucks are good, man. The Bucks are good.
The Bucks are good. Like I think they could they are going to contend. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like I said, I think I said it to you before. I don't like Chris Middleton anymore.
I know. Yeah,
He's just not the same anymore.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like a lot of Middleton also, when they won the championship, it seemed like he kind of picked it up towards the end. So I kind of expect that because they're like not playing him as much, like giving him less minutes, coming off the bench.
Yeah,
So
true.
I mean, but also like even like we talk about teams, I also think players. Like to me, players. I don't have a favorite team. I have favorite players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like right now, like you got like Devin Booker is just lighting it up, even with Durant, and it's like I think he's gonna be like he's already like a star, but like MVP in the next couple of years. Like the guy goes out there and he's good.
True. Now, can we talk a little bit about college basketball now? I really haven't been deep diving into it.
Neither have I.
I don't think I'm gonna start early on it, like the first games of March Madness. I think I'm gonna wait till maybe like Sweet 16 and then start really betting into it.
If I don't know, I don't watch college basketball, so my opinion is not like credible. But I will say there's one team I watched last year that I actually took to win the whole thing. They ended up losing to Duke. I think it was UCLA. And I think that they returned. I don't think anyone went to the draft. They same team. So I kind of feel like they're gonna sneak up on some people.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It could be possible.
Yeah.
We got brutally screwed last year. Now, we took Duke to win it, and North Carolina beat them, obviously. But it was the worst mistake of my life. I wish I took UNC, but we all make mistakes sometimes. But what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to talk about something else before we do go. Now, if you guys do want to just stop not even taking parlays, just give it up forever. Like, I'm not even going to say that's my recommendation. I'm brutally telling you guys, just give it up forever. And if you guys want help on what bets to take out of my bets, you guys can sign up to my Discord. I will leave a description. I will leave a link in my description for you guys down below. But that's going to cut it for us here. Jake, do you have anything you want to say for the guests?
I mean, thanks for having me. I mean, it was fun. I definitely think like you got it going, bro. Like this is what you wanted, and people should listen to you because you put in the time, you put in the work, and you spent the money. So
now I do also want to say before I end it, I wasn't talking bad about anybody's podcasts out there. I think you guys are all good. I do watch a lot of podcasts in my area, not because to be better than them, but I like to show support, and I just don't like to put anybody down.
We're not haters. Nobody's a hater.
I don't want to be a hater to you guys. I love you guys, but I think that's gonna wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, Jake may be, and this is his decision, he might be joining us on All on the Line, maybe a couple episodes out of the week. I would love for it to happen. I already gave him the option. Now I'm just waiting for a response. Now I know he has school, but he is closing graduation soon, so maybe we can get him full time. But maybe you guys will see him on a couple more episodes out of these weeks coming up. But
I'll tell you, like I would love to be back. Sure. Like I mean, when school ends, baseball starts. I'll give you guys could get all the baseball picks.
Now, what Jake does not know is that's going to be coming with waking up at 6 a.m. and doing this videos. Yep. And
I'm not an early bloomer.
Yeah, neither am I, but we suck it up and
work.
Get through it. Yeah. And just wake up, get your coffee, get the early morning going, and
yes, sir.
Look for these picks. But I think it would be great if we had a nice little podcast here to go with the sports betting.
Yes, sir.
I think it would be awesome if you joined us here on All on the Line. But that's going to do it for us here tonight, guys. I'm glad you guys stayed and watched. I hope you guys have a great night. I will be continuing watching the rest of these games. Now, like I said before, Lauri Markkanen did screw us. I am upset, but what are we going to do? I am about to watch De'Aaron Fox hopefully hit it for us. Now, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Have a great one.